Hello, good morning slash afternoon slash evening slash night, whatever it may be, good time zone to you all. I'm just making a quick voice video because I felt like it, and in my mind while writing the script now, it'll require minimal effort. So, like the title of the video suggests, I have a few tips and tricks that may be useful for becoming a better player in the game known as Exoracer. It's a game built for speedrunning, whether or not you know you're speedrunning it, and the community involved with it may be small, but it's one of the most dedicated I've been a part of, so it deserves at least some coverage on my channel. Especially since many consider me to be the current best player for some reason, which I guess qualifies me to make this guide of sorts. If you're interested in finding out more about the game, I'll leave a link to download it for both iOS and Android in the description. It's free to play, and it's incredibly addicting in my opinion, so at least give it a try. With all of that said, let's go over everything I can think of that might give you an edge over your competition. I cannot stress this enough. You can't perform to your full potential if you don't have a visual representation of what to do in the level. There's a reason why the go-to tip is to watch the record replay, and it's not because the person you ask doesn't want to talk to you and divert your focus to watching replays. Definitely not. No, the reason is because the replays give you an insight into the little things that the top placing times do in order to go that fast. Maybe things like landing deeper into a spring so your air time is minimized before a wall jump, doing a rope reattach to gain as much speed as possible. Even just watching it to learn the layout of the level and the tapping pattern on solid ground is a good habit. Don't forget, you can also compare against the ghost of any kind in real time while you're doing runs. Just tap the two arrows at the bottom right corner of the screen, select a run to compare to, and you're set. If you fall behind the ghost, that's nothing to worry about, as even just improving enough to set any personal best is something to be proud of. You aren't going to become a world record contender overnight, so just keep at it. Going off of what I just said, you gotta keep working those tapping muscles if you want to improve it all. I understand that not everyone has the time to grind the game 4 hours a day or something, but you don't need to. The longer you spend on playing, the more comfortable you'll be with riskier movement, sure, but the practice also has to be effective. Practice doesn't mean completing every single run you start necessarily, although that is a good habit in some cases like in the Exo Cups. It just means repeating sections that you struggle with until you understand what you've been doing wrong, and then applying that newfound knowledge in a run from the beginning. If you aren't struggling with anything, then that's perfect. You can do runs from the start. Keep in mind, even while doing PB attempts, you're still technically practicing the level you're playing, just up until the part you end up resetting at. So you don't need to dedicate yourself to the game for copious amounts of time in order to become better. Just make sure that when you do play the game, you make the most of your time. Skill is also transferable between levels, so if you practice wall jumping in a stage like E7, for example, chances are you'll struggle less when encountering a similar wall jumping section like in E9. The game really isn't all that complex in terms of mechanics, it's just perfecting your understanding of how to speed through those mechanics and being able to perform well. This should go without saying, but making the leap to join a new community is scary, I know. Or maybe you're weird and don't think like that, but regardless, make sure to make connections with people in the Exoracer Discord, which is in the description. We're mostly nice, friendly at times, and pretty chill, I guess. All jokes aside, the community will encourage you to be the best player you can be, and although we're chaotic and unruly at times, that's what makes the Discord full of life and activity. We're also incredibly sarcastic at times, what with the endless skill issue jokes, but we never actually mean it. Unless you're Sunshard. But yeah, there's honestly nothing like chatting in the general channel while you're kicking everyone's asses in ladder. You'll gain confidence in your ability and maybe acquire an overinflated ego with a side of arrogance. Speaking of ladder, queuing in online games is no joke one of the best methods of practice. Of course, you want to be familiar with the offline practice levels and have decent times in all of them before playing online, otherwise you'll be demolished by sweats like myself. But the format of online gives way for a very effective way to practice. You have 2 minutes in a single map to get the best time that you can, and you gain or lose trophies based on how you did. So not only is it an intense 2-minute session with a map, but the danger of losing trophies is a giant motivator to do well. In the grand scheme of things, trophies don't mean anything, but even so, it always hurts to see arbitrary metrics like that plummet. Just remember though, be familiar with the practice levels before you play online. The more games you win, the more confidence you'll have in your ability, and that'll translate into being a better player. Lastly, remember, if you force yourself to play when you're not in a great mood, or grind for a PB until your wrist hurts and your eyes strain, that's a surefire way to burn out fast. It's just a game, it'll still exist later. Getting genuinely angry at a video game meant for entertainment and fun isn't healthy either, so if you're on a 50-game lose streak and ladder, maybe take a break and regroup before trying to recoup your losses. Though that's probably easier said than done because I have a 90% win rate, so can't relate. You can't do your best if you're feeling strong emotions or starting to grow tired of the game, so play in moderation and do your best to enjoy it. This definitely isn't a comprehensive list of everything you can do to become a better player, but it's all I could think of, and I've already put more effort than I thought I would when I started this mini project. I really like this game, so hopefully I can convince some people to give it a try for themselves and start contributing to the already excellent competitive feel the game has. With all that said, thanks for watching. Bye bye.